Is clutter slowly taking over your home and stealing your peace? If opening a closet, a drawer, or even stepping into a certain room gives you that little knot in your stomach, you're not alone. So many of us reach a point where the stuff around us feels heavier than it used to. But stay with me, because the tip I'm about to share is the simplest, most life-changing decluttering advice I've ever come across. And it can start helping you today. And if you're ready to feel lighter and more in control at home, tap the like button so YouTube sends you more calming, senior-friendly tips. After 60, life changes. We've gathered decades of memories, belongings, and responsibilities, and sometimes it all starts to feel heavier than it used to. When too much piles up, it quietly drains your energy. You walk past little messes you know you should handle, but you just don't have the strength, focus, or motivation in that moment. And that's okay. Truly, you're human. And today, we're taking one tiny, gentle step forward, a step that can help you feel clearer, lighter, and more in control again. Today, I'm sharing the most useful decluttering tip I've ever heard. And it works even if you have low energy, limited mobility, or you feel overwhelmed just thinking about cleaning. This isn't about tackling big projects or pushing yourself too hard. It's a tiny habit that can quietly simplify your entire home and make it feel calmer day by day. The best part? It only takes about 30 seconds a day, and it's gentle enough for anyone to start immediately. Step 1. Identify one small area, 30 seconds. Let's start with something simple. So simple that your brain won't resist it. Pick one tiny spot in your home. Not a whole room, not a big shelf, not a whole table. Just one small area you can see right now. It could be the corner of a table where mail tends to pile up. A little spot on the kitchen counter that always attracts odds and ends. The top of your dresser where loose change, receipts, or old glasses cases seem to land. It doesn't matter what the spot is. What matters is that it's small, enough that you can clear it in under 30 seconds. Why does this work so well, especially as we get older? Because the hardest part of decluttering isn't the action, it's the thought of starting. When you think about cleaning an entire room, your energy drops. Your motivation disappears. You feel tired before you even begin. But when the task is tiny, when it's just one little corner, your brain says, "Yeah, I can do that." So choose that one small area. Don't overthink it. Don't judge yourself. You're not trying to make your whole home spotless today. You're simply giving yourself one easy win. Something you can finish quickly. Something that reminds your mind and your confidence that you're still capable of taking action. Now, once you've chosen your little spot, apply the rule. If it takes under 30 seconds to fix, do it now. Move the envelope to your mail tray. Toss the old receipt. Put the glasses back in their case. Return the empty cup to the sink. Clear that tiny corner until it feels open again. This isn't about cleaning for hours. It's not about bending, lifting, or pushing your body. It's about creating a moment of clarity. One small patch of peace that makes your home feel lighter and your mind feel calmer. And here's the part most people don't realize. These small areas are powerful. They seem insignificant, but they're the places your eyes land on every day. When they're messy, they send a little jolt of stress through your nervous system. But when they're clear, even for a moment, you feel a sense of relief, a sense of breathing room, a sense of control. Most people skip this step because it feels too small, but that's exactly why it works. Tiny areas don't trigger overwhelm. They don't activate that voice in your head that says, "I'll do it later." Instead, they give you easy victories, victories that build confidence and momentum. So don't underestimate this first step. That small corner is your starting line. It's the place where you remind yourself that progress doesn't come from doing everything at once. It comes from doing one small thing you can manage right now without pressure or stress. And once that little spot is clear, you'll feel it, a tiny breath of peace in your home and in your mind. Step 2. Apply the 30-second rule. Now that you've chosen your one small area, It's time to put the 30-second rule into action. The rule is simple. If something will take you less than 30 seconds to handle, you do it right away. No planning, no overthinking, no saving it for later. Just a tiny action, done in a tiny moment. That makes a surprisingly big difference. This step is kinder on your energy than traditional decluttering because it doesn't ask you to push yourself or take on more than you can handle. It's not about bending, lifting, or standing for long stretches. It's about small, easy movements that fit comfortably into your day, even when you're tired or dealing with limited mobility. So let's walk through a few examples of what a 30-second win might look like. Maybe there's a piece of mail sitting on the counter. In 30 seconds, you can place it in your mail basket or wherever you keep important papers. Maybe you spot an old receipt or a piece of junk mail. You can toss it in the trash without a second thought. Maybe there's a throw blanket draped over the chair. Just fold it once and lay it flat. That alone can make the whole room look calmer. Maybe you see your medication sitting out from the morning. Take a few seconds to put it back into its container or drawer so it's ready when you need it next. Maybe there's a cup on the table. You can take it to the sink in just a couple of steps. Maybe a magazine has been sitting around longer than you realized. Drop it into the recycling bin and instantly clear that surface. These are tiny tasks, little motions, nothing demanding. But here's the magic. Each one removes a small source of visual stress. And when you clear even one of those little triggers, your mind feels lighter almost immediately. This is the step where most people realize how much visual clutter disappears. Almost instantly. We often underestimate how much our eyes absorb throughout the day. Every stray item, every little pile, every unfinished task creates a small weight on your mind. You don't always notice it consciously, but your brain does. It keeps track of everything, even when you're trying to ignore it. Now imagine the opposite. A clear, calm spot. A tiny space with nothing pulling at your attention. Watch what happens when we clear this tiny spot. Your whole brain relaxes. This step isn't about perfection. It's not about creating a spotless home. It's about reclaiming tiny pockets of peace, one at a time. And what's beautiful is that the more you use the 30-second rule, the more natural it becomes. Soon, instead of walking past small tasks, you start handling them without effort. They stop feeling like chores and start becoming simple, quick habits that take almost no energy at all. And something else happens, something emotional. You begin to feel more capable, more in control, more grounded. When you handle these small tasks, even on your low-energy days, you send yourself a powerful message. I can still do things that make my life better. That feeling grows with every little action you take. And all of it starts with just 30 seconds. Step 3. The senior-friendly twist, 1 minute. Now that you're starting to see how the 30-second rule works, it's time to make it completely senior-friendly. This step is all about keeping your body safe while still creating those tiny wins that boost your confidence and calm your mind. The last thing we want is to turn a simple task into a strain or accident, because that would undo all the good we've done so far. Here's how to adapt the 30-second rule so it works for you. Gently and safely. Don't climb. Avoid stretching to reach high shelves or stepping on chairs. Your small wins can happen at eye level or below. You don't need to risk a fall to clear space. Don't lift heavy things. If something is too heavy to move comfortably, leave it for someone else or use a tool to help. The goal is simplicity, not injury. Even moving a light object can give you that feeling of accomplishment. Don't twist or bend suddenly. Quick or awkward movements can hurt your back or joints. Instead, pivot slowly, bend with your knees, or sit down while handling items if that feels safer. Sit if needed. Many tasks can be done while seated, folding a blanket, sorting mail, putting items in a basket. You don't need to stand the entire time. This keeps the activity easy, gentle, and approachable. Use a grabber tool if you have one. This is a simple device that helps you pick up items without bending, stretching, or straining. It's one of those tiny adaptations that makes decluttering feel effortless. Keep important items within reach. Arrange your small area so the things you need frequently are accessible. This reduces unnecessary movements and makes the space more manageable in the long term. The beauty of this senior-friendly twist is that it removes pressure. It's not about pushing yourself or trying to do more than your body allows. It's about creating ease. Every action is gentle. Every success is small but meaningful. And that's exactly what keeps momentum going. This rule never requires pushing your body. If it does, skip it. This is about ease, not exhaustion. And here's the real emotional payoff. When you take these tiny, safe steps, your confidence grows. You're reminded that you can take control of your space. Even if your energy isn't what it used to be, you start noticing the difference, not just physically in your home, but mentally and emotionally in your day. Each little win feels like a gentle victory, a message to yourself that says, I can handle this. I can still make my environment calm and manageable. It's also about mindset. Seniors often feel overwhelmed by the thought of cleaning, decluttering, or reorganizing. But by introducing safety and simplicity into the process, it becomes approachable, not intimidating. You don't need to finish a room or tackle a whole closet. You just need to do a safe, tiny action, and that's enough. Over time, these micro actions compound. A corner cleared here, a stack sorted there. Soon you notice that your home feels lighter. Not because it's perfectly tidy, but because the stress from visual clutter starts to disappear. And that emotional relief is priceless. You feel more capable, more at peace, and more in control of your space, without ever risking injury or fatigue. Remember, the goal is consistent, safe action. A little bit every day builds habits that last. And as you continue to follow the 30-second rule with this senior-friendly twist, your home starts to reflect your calm, your energy, and your clarity. You're not just decluttering. You're reclaiming a sense of autonomy and well-being that many people believe they've lost. So, as you move forward, pick a small area, apply the 30-second rule, and always honor your body's limits. Each safe, gentle action is a step toward a calmer, lighter, more peaceful home, and a lighter, brighter mind. That's the real power of this method. Step 4. Momentum without overwhelm, 1 minute. Now that you've started clearing small areas and following the 30-second rule safely, it's time to talk about momentum. This is where the magic really begins, and where most people give up without realizing it. The key is understanding that decluttering doesn't have to be an all-or-nothing task. In fact, trying to do too much at once is exactly what leads to stress, exhaustion, and the feeling that nothing is ever changing. Let's break it down in simple terms. Every tiny win you achieve, putting a cup in the sink, folding a blanket, sorting a small pile of mail, sends a subtle but powerful message to your brain. I am capable. I can handle this. That feeling might seem small at first, but it builds confidence, slowly reinforcing the idea that decluttering isn't overwhelming or impossible. And here's the beautiful part. Seeing even one small spot cleared is incredibly motivating. That tiny, visible change, a corner of a table, a drawer, a counter, gives you immediate satisfaction. It's a visual cue that your actions have meaning. It tells your brain, yes, I made a difference. I can do more. That's the dopamine hit that keeps you coming back, encouraging another tiny task and then another. By focusing on these micro actions, you prevent the classic all-or-nothing burnout. Many seniors feel like they need to clean an entire room or tackle a closet start to finish. And when that doesn't happen, they feel defeated and give up. But with this approach, each small success matters. Each completed task is a win. And those wins stack over time, creating a sense of accomplishment that grows quietly, steadily, without overwhelming your body or mind. Another key point is habit formation. When you practice these small, safe actions daily, you're slowly rewiring your habits. Your home becomes a place where clutter doesn't accumulate as quickly because your brain is trained to handle it in manageable chunks. You're teaching yourself that maintaining a peaceful environment doesn't require a marathon cleaning session. It requires consistency, patience, and kindness toward yourself. And wait until you see the first area we cleared. It looks completely different already. It's amazing how a single cleared corner can change the feel of a room. That tiny act gives you a sense of space and calm that spills over into the rest of your environment. It's like giving your mind a breath of fresh air. Even if the rest of the room isn't perfect, that one small win reminds you that progress is possible and that you're fully capable of making your home feel lighter and calmer. One small step at a time. The psychology behind this is simple but profound. Tiny wins build confidence. Visible results create motivation. Small, achievable actions prevent overwhelm. And repeated daily, these micro actions transform your approach to your home and your life. You're not just tidying, you're nurturing a sense of autonomy, competence, and inner calm that's just as important as the physical space you're clearing. So remember, the secret to momentum isn't doing it all at once. It's celebrating every small win, feeling the confidence grow, and letting that motivation ripple outward. Start with one area. Apply the 30-second rule. Keep it safe and gentle, and watch how those tiny actions, day by day, begin to reshape not only your home, but your mindset, giving you a sense of peace and control that you may have thought was lost. Every cleared corner, every sorted pile, every tiny win matters. And over time, you'll notice something remarkable. Decluttering no longer feels like a chore. It becomes a gentle, empowering habit, a small daily reset that brings calm, clarity, and confidence back into your life. That's the true power of momentum without overwhelm. There was a time I avoided my kitchen counter entirely. Just looking at it made me feel behind, scattered, even a little embarrassed. The clutter wasn't huge, but it felt like it was taking over, and it quietly drained my energy every day. Then I decided to try the 30-second rule. I focused on just one tiny corner. It felt almost silly at first, such a small, simple action. But the moment I cleared it, something shifted. That tiny win gave me courage. It reminded me that progress doesn't have to be perfect or huge. One small corner, one single moment, can spark change. And that's all you need to start reclaiming calm, confidence, and control in your home again. Tell me below, what's the one small spot you'll try the 30-second rule on today? I love reading your wins. Helps more seniors find peace in their homes. If you're ready to reclaim your space, your energy, and your confidence after 60, hit subscribe. We're simplifying life together, one calm moment at a time.